Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You're listening to our D&D game. I'm your host, the Dungeon Master, or DM for short, and the prologue to this one takes place in 458 AD. Percival dies 14 months after joining the Hermitage and is buried alongside Galahad and Dindane. Bors returns to Camelot in the Ship of Solomon and recounts the tale of the quest. The plot takes place in 461, and I won't really be able to do it justice. Um, it's a mystery. So someone tries to poison Gawain, and they kill Sir Patrice, but he's not the one who did it. The unfaithful Guinevere, because remember, there's multiple Guineveres. So ironically, the one Arthur married is the one that's like the bad apple, of course. Um, she's accused of the crime, and she didn't do it. And so the whole setup is it's all detective work and it's all clue analysis. And I wouldn't really know how to explain that, you know. Uh, so just, cutting right to the end, Nimue is the one who discovers that Pinel le Savage, which I think is Pinel the Savage, he did it. He's the one that poisoned Gawain. So he's punished accordingly. That's the end of that adventure. Uh, but I treated it like a whodunit, you know. Um, the epilogue takes place in 462 AD. Sir Ure of Hungary comes to Camelot to be healed by the quote unquote best knight in the world, and Lancelot is the one who heals him. So that's it for the actual adventure. I need to address something that happened here too. So I've mentioned Josh Boggs a lot in my videos. I've known Josh for, geez, I don't know, 25 or 30 years now. We were both taking martial arts together around 1994, 1995, something like that. Um, and we go to church together. And in May of 2019, that first Sunday of the month, there was a dinner after church, and everybody was hanging out, eating potato salad, deviled eggs, and it's that kind of a situation, you know. And after church, Josh went his way, I went my way. Um, Me and my family went to the lake for the afternoon, and afterwards went back to our house where we were living. And I was out mowing yard, and my wife comes running out, and she's like, "Josh has been in a horrible accident. He got in a really bad accident on the home." And so I went in, and his brother John has been trying to message me all day, and he's like, "Where are you at? You need to get to the hospital." Like, because John is in the army, and he, I think at the time, was stationed in Germany. Um, Long story short, I get to the hospital, and Josh made it, by the way. We didn't think he was going to. He made it. And he just had a hole in his head. Like, if you ever see art of someone that has like a third eye in the center of their forehead, right where that would be, he just had a big hole. And I mean, like maybe like the size of a quarter, and you could just see in. And I remember looking at that and thinking, in that hospital, by the way, it's called Med Central, but it has a reputation where people around here refer to it as Dead Central because of See, I got to be careful how I word it because I don't want to get like sued for slander or something. I hear a lot of stories about people who are unhappy with the treatment they've gotten there. One time I had to have a lipoma removed from my lower abdomen, and the doctor, first of all, he fumbled the scalpel, dropped it on the floor, and picked it up and was gonna keep using it. And I was like, shouldn't you get another one? And he was like, man, picky, picky. Uh, and then when he cut into me, he had not numbed up the site at all. And so I sort of like made a noise, kind of like a hiss, out of pain. And and he's like, oops, forgot to numb you up. Hold on a minute. And then he got the local. So I'm saying this because again, you can see in Josh's head, right? Um, and I remember at one point looking in, it was like a house fire where you just can't look away. You know what I mean? And and he wasn't awake yet. And I remember looking in and I was like, is that because it was bloody in there and it was hard to tell what was going on? I'm like, is that his skull? Is that his brain? Like, what am I seeing there? Whatever it is, I shouldn't be seeing that. Like, shouldn't someone come along and put bandages on his head? Or, that whole situation was a mess. I'm being really long-winded. Point being, he got out of that hospital after like a week, maybe. Um, his wife Stacy, she was in a lot longer. And then when she got out of the hospital, they put her in this nursing home in a nearby town, nice town. And this nursing home, it just so happened to look like the setting of the board game Clue. That's where all this is going. And her birthday was coming up, and everybody wanted to throw a Clue themed birthday party for her. And I want to say she turned 40 or something. It was like part of it was like, we're happy you're out of the hospital. Part of it was also like, it seems like it was like a round number or something for a birthday. But so we were gonna do this like murder mystery thing. Um and we were all gonna be, whatever, Colonel Mustard and Professor Plum and stuff. And we were gonna kind of like act it out. Um I don't know. When the big day finally came, it just sort of fell apart. And not to not to cast disparaging remarks towards Josh at all. Um, but I mean, he had a major head injury and he was kind of in charge of that party. You know what I mean? If he was here, I strongly, strongly believe he would be the first to agree with me. Um, so it was kind of a weird party, but it was nice to see Stacy and everything. Um, but yeah, all of that, I can't talk about this game without just thinking about that whole era and thinking about the birthday party and stuff like that. And it was after that because I feel like we were all kind of hungry for sort of like Clue, you know. Um, so that's where this D&D game came from. You know what I mean? Part of it is again based on Arthurian mythology, of course, but the other big component there was we were really in the mood for Clue. So I did my best to run that. And that's hard. I feel like that's hard in D&D. Um, I don't I don't really like I mean, I this is already a long-winded enough video. I won't get into game mechanics. I just feel like different games are good at different things, and I don't feel like Clue is what D&D was built to do. You know what I mean? So I'll leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. At any rate, so that's it for this one. If you want to support the channel, be sure to hit like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz, and we'll see you in the next one.